Welcome to All Pro Football Data. My name is Jim Coburn, and today's episode we're talking about Shedeur Sanders in terms of his overall quarterback data. So, if you're new to the channel, new to the stuff that I do, of course, my name is Jim Coburn. I have written about the NFL draft for over 10 plus years. I produced over 7 plus NFL draft analytics guides, which have been published and are available for purchase. And of course, I have just talked about the draft for a very, very long time on various podcasts. So if you want to learn more about my stuff, Google my name, Jim Coburn NFL. You'll find multiple things out there about me in terms of learning about me. But if you want to learn more about how the data that I'm using today is collected and analyzed and just the general definitions of everything, go to the description below where there is a glossary of terms to kind of follow along if you aren't familiar with this. So all that stuff out of the way, we're looking at Shedeur Sanders. Shedeur is a fantastic prospect. He is somebody that I think a lot of people have talked about as being the top quarterback taken in this particular draft class. But we need to look at some things. We have to look at his overall passing efficiency and dual threat rushing ability. Those are very important numbers to hit at an NFL quarterback. We have to look at his situational data, and then we also have to look at his down and distance data in terms of his ability to be clutch in third down situations. Those are all big things that make great NFL quarterbacks, regardless of how they looked on film, is how they also looked on paper. And that is what we're going to be looking at today with Shedeur Sanders, is to see how well he stacks up to other great quarterbacks in the past and what his future might be. Now, starting with his best passing efficiency and career efficiency scores, Shedeur had a 98.34 best quarterback efficiency score. Fantastic number. This is what he had back in 2023 with a 94.78 career quarterback efficiency score. He did have a dip in his efficiency, but definitely still on the high end in terms of that. So this is a definitely fantastic numbers for him to have, and puts him in that All Pro average, Pro Bowl average sort of area in terms of his overall quarterback efficiency. And this is just for the forest for the trees. This just looks at his completion percentage, touchdown to interception ratio, the strength of the team that he was on, and the schedule that he was facing. Those are all the things that this looks at, and he was definitely fantastic in terms of all those numbers. Then we're going to look at dual threat ability scores. So Shedeur Sanders, as much as his quarterback efficiency was fantastic, his dual threat ability wasn't really there. Now, is this something that's a necessity or something that he absolutely has, or is there no film out there showing his ability to make plays with his feet? I would disagree. I definitely think there's tons of film on Shedeur Sanders that shows his ability to make plays with his feet. It's just that he wasn't consistently making plays with his feet. He wasn't consistently making great plays as sort of a mobile quarterback, being the main rushing quarterback on his team. And some of that had to do with sacks, some of that had to do with the offensive line that he had at Colorado. But regardless of all the reasons why this is what it is, the numbers are what they are, guys. So for that point, as much as people would like to say, well, he has mobile quarterback ability, based on his data, he has more in common with, say, like a Jameis Winston than he does like a Lamar Jackson. That's just what it is in terms of his mobile quarterback ability. So you can't just look at certain things like, oh, he definitely is that guy when he really isn't consistently that guy based on his data. Now, situational statistics, there are some concerns with Shedeur Sanders. He had a first time completion percentage, which was decent. His TD percentage is really great. He's really good at getting touchdowns. Every time he gets a football in his hand as a passer, he does really well in terms of getting touchdowns, which is a very big positive for him. But his 15-yard plus passes, the percentage of passes that are 15-yard plus and 25-yard plus are not the best. He improved that number from 2023 to 2024. He was pretty much high marks. I wouldn't say really, really high, but 70 percentile, 80 percentile in terms of this particular number. But prior to that season in 2023, he was sweating the small stuff heavy. Offensive line definitely could play a part in that. But his overall averages, again, this is what this is looking at, the averages of the data. He's not really getting it done in terms of making those 15 plus, 25-yard plus passes on a consistent basis. So it kind of holds down his overall data from that perspective. Then when you get to his down and distance data, His third down conversion rate was fantastic. He had a 67th percentile in terms of that particular number, 56th percentile in terms of second down, and then 42th percentile in terms of first down. Now, this is a trend that is typical of offenses that are more spread heavy because you're typically not trying to get a first down on first down in a spread offense. You're trying to spread the defense. So you're going to get like a short pass that goes for 5 yards. And then maybe you get another short pass that goes for 3 yards. And then you get another short pass that goes for, for more of a high percentage sort of completion percentage on third down. That is sort of what his data is saying about him based on paper. Now, um, he has improved this number. Again, 2024 was a better season for him versus 2023, but that is what his data is kind of saying about him is he's really sweating the small stuff. He's really shining in terms of short distance, not necessarily in terms of deep passes consistently. And that is something that I think a lot of people need to spend a little bit more time to kind of scrutinize him about a little bit is this particular area of his game where he doesn't really show up at a high level. Now, conclusions. Shedeur Sanders has phenomenal passing efficiency. However, his average down the field throws makes his passing efficiency look influenced by higher percentage of line of scrimmage throws. So, for example, his best quarterback season as a college football player was in 2023 on the Colorado Buffaloes, and when you look at that season, that was also his worst season in terms of 20, percentage of throws over 25-yard plus, 15-yard plus in that particular season. That was his worst season in terms of that. So his best passing efficiency season in terms of touchdown percentage, completion percentage, was the year that he had the least amount of big time throws down the football field. That is a little bit concerning. Now, is his passing efficiency solid? Yes, it is. Even though he threw the football more often and his passing efficiency went down in terms of touchdown percentage and completion percentage, he still had a solid touchdown percentage and completion percentage. But this is just one area where you can kind of see a little bit of concern with him in terms of overall data. Still really solid though. Overall upside though, I would say at the next level would be sort of a Justin Herbert. Herbert has some of the same criticisms. If you go back to some of the criticisms that Justin Herbert had, people said he was in kind of a gimmicky offense or, wasn't really throwing the football down the field as much as you would like him to. It's kind of inconsistent. And bottom line is he proved the haters wrong. And I think that definitely is, what you see with Sanders in terms of him. I think on the low end, you're looking at a Dorian Thompson Robinson in terms of his passing ability. This based purely on his passing ability, not based on his rushing ability or anything else or how he looks, but just his overall passing efficiency. He lines up with that as sort of the low end of the totem pole. A backup to starter kind of player for him. But overall, fantastic prospect. Really like everything about him. Let me know in the comment section below. How do you feel about Shedeur Sanders? Are there concerns for you? Does this data concern you? Is there things on film that can answer that? These are all things that you kind of want to talk about on here. And I will see you guys in the next episode